Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing a skull bandana tutorial. So this is the beauty portion, and then about halfway through we'll switch to the... So let's go ahead and get the tutorial started. So we'll start off with the basics, foundation all over your face. And we're moving on to brows. And I did the brows kind of not super intense for this look because we want the bandana to take the stage, but they do need to be kind of pointed if you can manage that. So yeah, just follow your brown shape and make the arch a little bit more prominent. And prime your lids, and we will get on to eyeshadow. And I start off with a silver in the inner corner of my eye, and then do an emerald green on the outer, like 3/4. And then the color palette gets kind of weird. I take like a cool brown and dust that up along my brow bone up there, and just kind of blend that out for a smokier effect. But then put some black on the outer edges of my eyes to give it some more definition. And then we're lining our eyes with my all-time favorite Revlon gel liner, because this thing is a miracle in a little bottle. I've had this thing forever. And it will give you a really nice line, a really nice pointed line. And then we're going to take a white pencil and line our waterline to make our eyes appear bigger, just because I think that's going to look really nice with this look. And then take a black pencil outside underneath your waterline and just line to the middle of your eye to define the outer edge. And then mascara. Now it's time for the fun part. We're getting on to our skull bandana. And first we're going to define where the bandana ends at the top of our face. And then we're going to start laying down some shadows with, I took black eyeshadow to lay down where all the edges were going to be, because that is just going to help so much with shading and figuring out where to put dark green and light green and white and black. So yes, I highly recommend that you do this and look at a reference photo like the entire time. So now that we've marked up our face, we're going to start with the nose, and I'm actually starting with the green that's going to go around that black shape, because it's just going to make it easier to lay down those lines over it instead of trying to get the green as close as possible to the black, to just have it there already and go over it with the black. And this shape isn't kind of pointy or as pointed as I would have liked, but you can totally string it out and make it super creepy looking. And then we're just continuing that light green down to the edges of those shadows on my cheeks right there, and stopping right at that black edge. And just putting it where all the highlights on our face would be. So definitely that cheekbone area, and then taking a darker green and putting it where the shadows are going to go, underneath that line. And now we're starting on teeth, and these teeth are admittedly cartoonish. I'm just going to say that right now, and you know, I just have accepted it. But we're going to mark out where the tops of all those teeth are going to be, and then mark out where the bottom row of teeth are going to be. And I just used an angled brush that made those edges particularly easy to get that defined. And then fill in the top with light green paint, and start filling in the rest of our highlights above our face with light green paint, because it's very important to put down that color before you start doing detail work there. And then we're going to start defining our teeth by taking some black eyeshadow and a very angled pointed brush, and taking our teeth and just defining them all over. So now I'll start darkening up those shadows right next to my teeth that lead up to my cheekbone, and start filling in the teeth also along that line, as well as on the lines in between. And I use kind of a green eyeshadow around my gums to just shade them a little bit. And you know, if you did it with the skin color, you'd do it with like gray and white. but because we're green, we're just using green. And then those shadows on my cheeks, I'm taking some black eyeshadow and really defining those and cleaning them up right now. So I take black eyeshadow and lay that down and blend it in with that green paint. And then I'm making those holes in the side of my cheeks, and they're black and they're beautiful and they're on every single skull ever. So they are very, very important and also add to the dimensionality and creep of this look so hard. And taking that black and just defining all of those lines that I made earlier, and then taking that green and filling in everywhere that has not been filled in yet. And I know I'm kind of jumping around, but it's kind of hard because you want to lay down your shadows and your shading and make this look as dimensional as possible, and that kind of takes jumping around sometimes. So we're going to take that darker green and put it in between that black hole that we just made and that line that's the upper part of our jaw, and then take that light green and just keep going around the bottom of our face, because there would be a shadow there, but the bottom part of our face would definitely be normal colored if this were a normal thing, which it's really not. And then we're going to define our teeth once more, just because it will really help with making sure that they stay on. And then I'm shading my teeth with some gray, because that will add to the dimensionality of the teeth by themselves. The last thing you're going to want to do is make that black line around the bottom of your skull face to just clean it up around your jaw. And then you are done!